Welcome to the Clown Show, everybody, because that's what West Virginia football is these days. It's a freaking clown show. You know, week one, we go on the road in the backyard brawl. I was there. It was a fantastic game, but we kept shooting ourselves in the foot over and over and over. And congratulations to Pitt. They took advantage, and they played a good game today against Tennessee. They lost in overtime, but another good game by Pitt. So, you know, after that game, I was like, man, Pitt's a really good team, and we went toe-to-toe with them, and we lost by a touchdown, and it was mainly all us. Mistakes by West Virginia. So I was encouraged. I wasn't even thinking about a loss against Kansas. It wasn't even in my mind. I was trying to figure out why was the spread so low? Do they think Kansas is that good or West Virginia is that bad? Turns out the spread should have been in favor of Kansas because that's how bad West Virginia is. And yeah, West Virginia did mount a comeback, but we're still talking about Kansas. And they went to overtime, and like the clown show it is, the final score ended up being by 2 possessions, even though it went to overtime. That's what I'm talking about. This is the clown show, 55-42. This game absolutely made no sense. Our defense went MIA, did not exist whatsoever. I thought Neil Brown had fixed our defense. I really did. And then I thought we were going to take a major step forward in our offense, and it actually looks like we have. So the offense gets fixed, but the defense takes a massive step backwards. What is going on in Morgantown? I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. Like, this is bottom of the barrel day for West Virginia. Trifecta. Well, Pitt didn't win, so a doubleheader. Pitt did play a great game. They lost to Tennessee. Marshall went on the road and beat Notre Dame, and West Virginia loses to freaking Kansas. Are you kidding me? This reminds me back whenever Dana Holgorsen went 4-8 in year 3 and lost to Kansas. But this is year 4, and I was saying that Neil Brown is a better head coach than Dana Holgorsen. Now, I was wrong. I was wrong. Wrong. And that's not praising Dana Holgorsen either, because they just lost to Texas Tech. I'm telling you, any quality team that Dana Holgorsen will play, he's going to lose to this year. 12-2. He's not a very good coach. Turns out Neil Brown, even worse. And I know it's like, your team is down, going to Blue. Why are you jumping on them? Because I'm sick of this. I am so sick of this. People have forgotten how good West Virginia was back in the day. I mean, it's starting to become history. Ever since we hired Dana Holgorsen, the ship has been sinking. And, you know, I had Neil Brown's back over and I am sick of defending him. This is bottom of the barrel. You cannot lose to Kansas. Texas, we know how you feel. Same exact thing happened to you. Went to overtime, lost to Kansas at home. That's what happened to West Virginia. Went to overtime, lost to Kansas at home. I can't handle this. My health cannot handle this. I'm telling you, years have been taken off my life. I'm dressed like a freaking clown. That's where we are as a program. And check out these stats. How in the world do you lose to Kansas with over 500 yards of offense? How does that happen? And JT Daniels played a great game. Our defense didn't show up. How does Kansas put 55 points, and I know we went to overtime, how do they put 55 points on West Virginia? How does that happen? You know, if somebody would have told me that Kansas 100% was going to beat West Virginia, and they said, but you have to guess the final score, I'd been like, man, our offense, I guess, wasn't clicking. I would guess 23-20, like the Texas Tech game last year. No, 55-42. How do they win by 2 possessions in overtime? I didn't get to watch the game, and I'm glad. I had it marked down as a win. I wasn't stressed about it. I wasn't worried about it. West Virginia's not making a bowl. No, it's not happening. This was supposed to be a gimme win, and we lost it. We could start the season 0-7. We could go 0-12. Seriously, we lost to Kansas. Oh, Towson. We might beat Towson. Maybe. So a 1-11 season, that's what we're talking about here in West Virginia. This is unbelievable. And I'm not trying to dogpile on the team. I know they just had a bad defeat. But here's the biggest issue that I see with Neil Brown. It's deja vu from last year. So last year we played a great game on the road against Oklahoma, and we lost a very close, hard-fought game. What happens? that we come back home and lose to an inferior Texas Tech team because we come out and put 0 points on the board. 17-0 at halftime. Now, we did come back and tie that game, but then eventually Texas Tech drove the field and kicked the game-winning field goal. Same thing happened this year. Last week, hard-fought game on the road against a ranked Pitt. It was a great game. Too many mistakes, though. Too many mistakes. What happens? We can't get it out of our heads, and we lose to an inferior team. I'll tell you what, Kansas better have one of the greatest years they've ever had. Kansas is now 2-0. They just beat West Virginia in Morgantown, which is very difficult, by the way. Just ask Baylor. They've never won in Morgantown. So my season prediction of 9-3 is way out the window. I don't think we will make a bowl. This is embarrassing, and it's why I'm dressed like a clown, because I don't care anymore. This is straight ridiculous. Every time I start caring, this happens. So I'm going to stop caring, and maybe something good will happen. I don't know. Or maybe that'll work against me as well. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Straight up ridiculous. Hats off to JT Daniels. He had a fantastic game. Threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Awesome game. Our running game was okay, not as good as Pitt. Does Kansas have a better defense than what Pitt has? Is their offense way better than Pitt's? I would say no to both of those. It's just mentally we were not in this game. At one time, the fans were booing Neil Brown. His days are absolutely numbered. I can't wait to hear his press conference for this one, his excuses, and we should have done this and we weren't good here. You think? You just lost to Kansas. Unacceptable. It was the defense. Oh, man. It was the defense. How do you give up 55 points to Kansas? How does that happen? Somebody explain that to me. How does that happen? Because I don't know. I am lost. And I know a lot of people were trolling me and clowning me, saying you better watch out for Kansas. But I don't even know if they were taking it seriously. I think they were just joking around and clowning and trolling and all that stuff. But hey, you got your wish. West Virginia does indeed lose to Kansas. I'm dressed like a clown. I'm not defending Neil Brown anymore. I think it's time for him to go. The sooner the better. Hopefully we don't make the same mistake with him as we did with Holgorsen. We kept Holgorsen way too long. We cannot afford to do the same thing with Neil Brown. And I know that his buyout is $20 million, but it's time to eat that $20 million and cut our ties, because this is it's a clown show. Yep, welcome to the clown show. Y'all let me know in the comments section just what your reaction is. Were you actually expecting this? And was West Virginia's defense surprisingly bad, or were you expecting them to be that bad? My gosh, that was probably the worst defense of the entire day. Belongs to West Virginia. Congratulations, West Virginia. You're number 1 at something, and that's the worst defense in all the nation in week 2. I don't know where we go from here. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.